Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So in this video, we are going to take a close look at the arcade sticks from the 90s for our Mega Drive, or known as the Sega Genesis. So we have two versions, and I say recently I picked this one up. I'm super happy to find the Mega Stick, or let's me again. Yeah, the Arcade Power Stick, almost said it wrong, but the Arcade Power Stick number 2, and I got both of them in my collection. I'm super excited to show you this. We're also going to do a quick teardown, and how is the experience of playing some Sega Power with the arcade stick. Or, sorry, the Arcade Power Stick. But let's take a close look at the Arcade Power Stick number 1. And it was in the time period when they released the Mega Drive one. I can still remember that I owned this one as a child, and I was quite fond of it. I think it's pretty damn awesome, not because it was an arcade experience at home, but it was more like, I think it was pretty damn awesome, having the big membrane buttons, having even the option for Mega Fire. Here you can adjust the speed, having the start, and the joystick itself was just basically one big D-pad with a big stick on it, because that's how it feels. It's not like a real arcade that we had seen with Sega Saturn or other arcades. So at the back we're going to get one big metal plate that gives most of the weight, because the top part of this thing is made of plastic. So that 3 button is not really say interesting, because now we're going to need like 6 buttons with most Genesis games. But nevertheless, I just wanted to try it out and just do a quick teardown. So that's what we're going to do now. Okay, so the only thing that we need to do is remove a couple of screws over here at the bottom plate, and at the feel of it they never open it up, so maybe I'm the first one who's going to open up this arcade stick. I'll just do a quick peek in the inside, because I think it's always quite interesting to see what and how they made it back in the day. Okay, so let's take a close look in the inside. What's quite interesting here at the bottom plate, you can see even a support or metal support for the joystick part over here. And yeah, there is nothing much in it, because it's basically like freaking a controller, only oversized. So here we're going to get the PCB. This PCB is specially made for the membrane button underneath, or the joystick. And then we're going to get here one big PCB, and the other one is like for the buttons, like the membrane buttons, and some special, let's say, technology for having the turbo functionalities of the joystick. So in the end, we're not going to get really a lot of parts inside, but it's just fun to check it out anyway. Alright guys, so let's start with, of course, a great beat 'em up, Final Fight CD. So we're going to pull out the 3 buttons for this one, simply because we don't need any buttons more than that. Alright, so let's see if we can put the rapid fire on. Oh yeah, GG Final Fight. Just hold the buttons. So despite this thing isn't really like an arcade stick that you're used to, like with the real arcades, it is very responsive. Come on boy, Turbo Fist. I almost wanted to say turbo fisting, but that sounds so wrong in many ways, you know. But you get the point. Woohoo! Keep knocking on the door, baby! Ba 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 ba! Keep knocking on the door! Okay guys, so let's take a close look at the Sega Arcade Power Stick 2. And I was super happy to find this in a thrift shop, because I wanted to have this for a very long time in my collection. And the main reason is of course the 6-button layout. I play a lot of games on my Sega that benefit of this situation or this layout. So what you're going to get in the end is like the same stuff with the previous one. For example, we're going to get the same membrane joystick. But there are some differences, and I'm not talking about the Mega Fire speed over here. No, this is exactly the same. We do get the Mo button, we're going to get the same start, then we're going to get the option to have a 3 and 6 option over here, so that's quite interesting. Then we're going to get here some extra, this is more like an extra feature that we can turn on and off. Something we also have with the other one, but of course the 6-button layout you need to do, changing with all of the layout. But it's quite interesting stick, and the features are like freaking awesome for back today. So opening it up will be the same thing, but let's take a close look at the bottom, because man, this thing doesn't look that great like the previous one. Okay, so let's see how the situation is in here. Normally we can just open it up fairly easy, but it's a little bit stucky over here. And the reason why, because it has been made totally differently. Like some, as you can hear on my voice, I'm quite surprised. didn't open it up, and we're going to clean this up because it's quite filthy. But here you can see like there is nothing to see, and the reason why is because they did a completely re-engineering of this arcade stick. With the previous one you could see like 2 separate PCBs, but now we're going to get one gigantic one. So what we're going to need to do is remove a couple of screws more. You can even see like the cable is in here, is stuck with this piece of plastic. Quite interesting construction, and you can see even with different sticks we're going to get different pieces of technology. It's quite interesting if you ask me. But let's open up this first. Okay, so let's lift up this piece of plastic, and this is a really great way to start cleaning everything. And here you can see like the piece of plastic is purely made for supporting everything. Then here we're going to get the cable, so we can lift it out. There's freaking another Parker over here that holds the PCB in place. I just want to do a full teardown with this one, so just leave this Parker in here. And now we can lift up the PCB. And here you can see this is what we're going to get in the other side. So it's basically the same technology with the main brain buttons on the normal controllers. Here we're going to get a separate piece for the 4 buttons, but everything's very filthy, so it's a very good, it's a very great way to basically start cleaning everything. Here you can see the joystick itself, everything is very filthy. So what we're going to do, we're going to get myself a Q-tip with some pure alcohol, and we're going to clean this thing all up and going to put it back together. Okay, so let's give it a new attempt. Okay, so the main problem with this stick is I have cleaned everything up, but the problem is like the contacts are quite weird down, and my monitor's still getting like this weird stuff going on. But let's see if we can even play now. Yeah, so the stick itself is worn down dramatically, so the problem is that we cannot do any normal gaming with this. I can't get any move out. No. So I need to fix it or get myself another one, because this thing is not working out. It's a little bit of a bummer because it would be cool to play Street Fighter. I really love the button layout and the way how the buttons feel. But I can do a move, yeah! But okay guys, so this is the video about the arcade stick from the past, from the Sega Mega Drive lineup. Yeah, a little bit of a bummer about the second edition over there, that I had some issues with the joystick itself. I think I can manage to fix it, but when you're looking at closely to that bad boy, yeah, it got some wear and tear on the case itself, but also on the inside something was broken off. So I bought a piece of crap, if you ask me. Didn't pay a lot for it. I think it's around €7.50, maybe 10, but still everything is too much if it doesn't work properly. Then we're going to get ourselves the normal stick. I'm very glad this one still works, but yeah, I was extra happy with that one because I play a lot of fighting games. But thank you for watching. Consider subscribing, hit that little bell, become one of the Wicked family. And if you consider supporting me, you can also check out my Patreon. And thanks to my patrons, of course, for supporting me and making this possible. And I will see you in the next video.